The signal. Dr. Maya Chen never expected to make history on an ordinary Tuesday morning. The Quantum Observatory at Mauna Kea had been running its usual deep space scans when the anomaly appeared, a signal that defied every known law of physics. At first, she thought it was an equipment malfunction. "Run the diagnostic again," she told her assistant AI, fingers drumming against her desk. The holographic display flickered, showing the same impossible reading. The signal wasn't just strange, it was perfectly attuned to human neural patterns. Analysis complete, the AI reported. Signal integrity at 99.99%. Origin point calculated at approximately 47,000 light-years from Earth, originating from the Carina Nebula region. Maya leaned back in her chair, her mind racing. In 15 years of studying quantum communications, she'd never seen anything like this. The signal pulsed with a rhythm that matched human brain waves exactly. Alpha, beta, and theta patterns interweaving in complex harmonies. Before she could begin a deeper analysis, her neural implant chimed with an urgent message from the World Science Council. She wasn't the only one who had detected something unusual. Reports were flooding in from observatories across the globe. Dr. Chen, Admiral Sarah Rodriguez's hologram materialized in her office. The head of Earth Defense Forces Scientific Division looked uncharacteristically worried. "I assume you've detected it." "Yes. It's like nothing we've ever seen. The signal's quantum structure is a perfect match for human neural patterns," Rodriguez finished. "We need you in Geneva now." 12 hours later, Maya stood before the assembled World Council, trying to explain something she barely understood herself. The chamber's ancient wooden panels contrasted sharply with the advanced holographic displays showing her data. "The signal isn't just similar to human brain patterns," she explained, highlighting key sections of the quantum wavelength analysis. "It's as if it was specifically designed to interact with human consciousness. More concerning is what happened 3 hours ago. People have started responding to it." The room erupted in worried murmurs. Maya continued, "We've documented over 300 cases globally, individuals reporting enhanced cognitive abilities, improved memory, and in some cases, limited telepathic capabilities. The signal appears to be activating something that was already present in human DNA. Are you suggesting we were engineered?" A council member asked, his voice sharp with disbelief. "The evidence is becoming harder to ignore," Maya replied. "We've discovered sequences in our genome that appear artificial. They're too perfect, too precisely structured to have evolved naturally. Whatever this signal is, it's waking them up." As if to punctuate her point, the massive quantum display behind her suddenly flared with activity. New signals were appearing, stronger than the first. "Multiple quantum signatures detected," Maya's AI announced. "Vessels emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system." The room fell silent as the first images appeared. 7 ships, each massive enough to dwarf Earth's largest vessels, had materialized just beyond Mars' orbit. Their design was organic, almost alive, with surfaces that shifted and flowed like liquid metal. "They're broadcasting," someone announced. The message that filled the chamber was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. It wasn't audio or video, but rather a direct neural transmission that somehow everyone could understand. "Children of the architects, you were not meant to wake so soon. The galaxy is not ready for what you might become. We are the preservers, and we cannot allow this progression to continue." Maya felt a chill run down her spine as she processed the implications. The signal hadn't been a random astronomical phenomenon. It had been a key, designed to unlock something hidden within humanity itself. And these beings, these preservers, had arrived to stop whatever process had begun. Admiral Rodriguez was the first to recover. "How many ships can we deploy within the hour?" "The combined Earth defense fleet numbers 300 vessels," her eye responded. "But the technological gap between our ships and theirs is significant." Maya barely heard the military discussion that followed. Her attention was fixed on the quantum readings streaming across her neural interface. The signal was changing, evolving, and with it, she could feel something awakening in her own mind. New pathways opening, dormant abilities stirring to life. She wasn't alone. Around the chamber, other council members were experiencing similar changes. Some staggered, overwhelmed by suddenly enhanced senses. Others stared in wonder as they found themselves able to perceive quantum fluctuations directly. "We need time," Maya announced, cutting through the growing chaos. "Whatever is happening to us, whatever we were designed to become, we need to understand it before we can face them. Time may be something we don't have," Rodriguez replied grimly. The tactical display showed the preserver vessels advancing, their formation suggesting military intent. Maya turned to address the council directly. "Humanity stands at a crossroads. We're discovering we're part of something larger. An ancient plan put in motion long before our civilization began. The question isn't just whether we can defend ourselves, but whether we're ready to become what we were always meant to be." The signal pulsed again, stronger now, and Maya felt knowledge that wasn't her own flooding her consciousness. Equations describing higher dimensional physics, understanding of quantum mechanics that went beyond anything humanity had achieved, and most importantly, the beginning of an answer to why they had been created in the first place. "They're afraid," she whispered, the realization hitting her like a physical blow. "Not of what we are, but of what we're about to become." Admiral Rodriguez stepped forward, her expression hardening with determination. "Then let's show them exactly why they should be." As emergency alerts began blaring across the planet, Maya knew humanity was about to face its greatest challenge. The signal had awakened something that had slumbered in their genes for millennia. The preservers had come to stop it, but they had forgotten one crucial thing. Humans had never been good at doing what they were told. The next few hours would determine not just the fate of Earth, but the very future of human evolution itself. And Maya Chen, who had started her day with a cup of coffee and routine quantum scans, found herself at the heart of a conflict that would reshape the galaxy. The awakening. The first attack came without warning. The preserver ships didn't target military installations or government centers. Instead, they broadcast a quantum pulse designed to suppress the awakening abilities in the human population. They hadn't come to destroy humanity, but to contain it. Captain James Martinez felt the pulse hit as he piloted his interceptor at the edge of Mars' orbit. For a moment, his newfound awareness dimmed, like a light flickering in a power surge. But something unexpected happened. His mind adapted, evolved, and pushed back. "Sierra Squadron, form up," he commanded, watching as 11 other Earth Defense Force interceptors fell into formation around him. Through their shared neural enhancement, he could feel his pilots' determination, their fears, and their growing understanding of abilities they'd never known they possessed. "They're trying to shut us down," his wing commander, Sarah Foster, transmitted. "But it's having the opposite effect. Every suppression attempt is forcing our abilities to evolve faster." Below them, Earth glowed like a blue jewel in the void. The preserver ships had taken up strategic positions around the planet, their massive forms casting shadows on the lunar surface. Their next pulse would be stronger. They weren't going to risk failure twice. In Geneva, Dr. Maya Chen worked frantically with a global team of scientists to understand what was happening. The Quantum Research Center had become humanity's primary defense headquarters, its labs filled with researchers studying both the signal and its effects on human physiology. "It's like a key turning in a lock," she explained to Admiral Rodriguez, gesturing at the holographic display showing human DNA strands. "The original signal activated dormant sequences in our genome, but the preserver's attempt to suppress it is actually accelerating the process. Each attack forces these sequences to adapt and evolve." "How many have manifested abilities?" Rodriguez asked, studying the global incident map. "At last count, nearly 30% of the population shows signs of enhancement. The effects vary. Increased cognitive function, telepathic abilities, quantum perception. Some can even manipulate gravitational fields on a limited scale." A junior officer burst into the room, his neural implant projecting urgent data. "The preservers are broadcasting again. But this time, it's a message. The transmission filled their minds, bypassing conventional communication channels. Your development threatens the stability of this galaxy. The power you are accessing was never meant for such young minds. Submit to containment, or we will be forced to take more dramatic action. Maya felt something else hidden in the message. Fear, carefully concealed but unmistakable. The preservers weren't just worried about humanity's development. They were terrified of what humans might become. In orbit, Captain Martinez and Sierra Squadron had made a discovery of their own. Their enhanced perception allowed them to see weaknesses in the preservers' seemingly impregnable ships, quantum fluctuations that could be exploited. Their technology is advanced. Martinez transmitted to Earth Defense Command. But it's not magic. They rely on quantum field manipulation for both offense and defense. And thanks to whatever's awakening in us, we can see exactly how it works. Admiral Rodriguez's response was immediate. Can you exploit it? Martinez smiled, feeling his squadron's confidence through their shared connection. We're about to find out. Sierra Squadron accelerated toward the nearest preserver vessel, their small interceptors seemingly insignificant against its massive bulk. But size wasn't everything. As they approached, Martinez felt his enhanced consciousness merge with his ship's systems. The quantum fields around him became visible, tangible things that he could reach out and touch with his mind. Now, he commanded. 12 interceptors struck simultaneously, not with conventional weapons, but with focused quantum disruptions generated by their pilots' enhanced abilities. The preserver ship's defenses, designed to stop physical attacks, had no counter for this direct manipulation of quantum fields. For a moment, a section of the massive vessel's hull became transparent, its quantum structure destabilized. The effect lasted only seconds, but it proved something vital. The preservers weren't invincible. Back on Earth, Maya's team had made another breakthrough. Hidden in the original signal was something more than just an activation key. It was a message, encrypted in the very structure of quantum spacetime. It's from them, she whispered as the decryption completed. The ones who engineered us. They called themselves the architects. The message was brief but profound. To our children, when you wake, the preservers will come. They fear change, fear evolution. But you are our answer to a threat they chose to ignore. Trust in what you are becoming. The galaxy will need it soon. As Maya shared this discovery with Earth's leadership, more reports flooded in from around the planet. The awakening was accelerating. Humans weren't just developing random abilities. They were evolving into something that had been carefully designed millennia ago. The preservers launched another suppression pulse, stronger than before. But this time, humanity was ready. All across Earth, millions of awakened minds joined together, creating a quantum shield that not only blocked the pulse but reflected it back. For the first time in their long history, the preservers faced something they couldn't simply contain and control. Humanity had been created as a weapon against some ancient threat, designed to evolve rapidly when activated. Every attempt to stop this evolution only made it stronger. Captain Martinez watched from his interceptor as the reflected pulse washed over the preserver fleet. I don't think they expected this, he transmitted to command. They thought they were dealing with children playing with powers they didn't understand. Instead, they're facing exactly what the architects designed us to be. Maya Chen stood in the quantum observatory where it had all begun, watching the confrontation unfold through both normal and enhanced senses. The preservers had a choice to make: escalate to full military conflict, or accept that humanity's evolution couldn't be stopped. As if in response to her thoughts, a new quantum signature appeared at the edge of the solar system. More preserver ships were arriving, and these ones weren't designed for containment. The real battle for humanity's future was about to begin. Hidden legacy. The new preserver vessels emerged from quantum space like dark stars, their hulls adorned with weapon systems absent from the first wave. These weren't containment ships. They were dreadnoughts, built for war. Dr. Maya Chen watched them arrive through the quantum observatory's enhanced sensors, her evolved consciousness allowing her to perceive layers of reality that had been invisible just days ago. Behind her, holographic displays showed the status of humanity's rapid transformation. Over 60% of the population now showed signs of enhancement, with new abilities emerging hourly. "They're scanning us," she announced to the assembled Earth Defense Command. But differently this time. "They're looking for something specific." Admiral Rodriguez nodded grimly. The architect's message mentioned a threat. Perhaps it's time we found out exactly what we were designed to fight. The answer came from an unexpected source. Deep beneath the Mariana Trench, a previously undiscovered structure had begun responding to humanity's quantum awakening. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, leading the underwater excavation team, made first contact with what they would later call the archive. "It's some kind of quantum database." Yuki's excited transmission reached the command center. "The architects didn't just leave us a message. They left us their entire history." Through her enhanced perception, Maya connected directly to Yuki's feed. The archive unfolded in her mind like a library written in strands of quantum energy. Images and information cascaded through her consciousness, the history of a civilization that had seen the end of universes. The architects weren't just one species, she gasped, sharing her vision with the command staff. They were the last survivors of a previous universe. They saw their reality collapse, and they found a way to survive it. The truth was both beautiful and terrifying. The architects had discovered that their universe was one of many existing in a vast multiverse. But they also learned that universes could die, consumed by what they called the void, regions of anti-reality that devoured everything in their path. Their universe had been one of its victims. "The preservers existed in our universe long before us," Maya continued, interpreting the archive's data. "The architects tried to warn them about the void, but the preservers dismissed the threat. They believed their technology and their rigid control of galactic development would protect them. So the architects created us," Rodriguez finished. "But why? What can we do that the preservers cannot?" The answer lay in humanity's unique genetic code. The architects hadn't just given humans the potential for quantum perception and manipulation. They had encoded the very physics of their previous universe into human DNA. As humanity awakened, they weren't just gaining new abilities. They were accessing the fundamental laws of a reality that had evolved over billions of years longer than our own. In orbit, Captain Martinez and Sierra Squadron engaged in the first real battle with the Preserver dreadnoughts. The massive ships unleashed weapons that bent space itself, trying to erase the human vessels from existence. But something remarkable happened. The human pilots, their abilities now fully awakened, instinctively accessed physical laws that the Preserver's weapons couldn't affect. Their ships danced through impossibilities, guided by minds that could perceive and manipulate quantum states that shouldn't exist in our universe. "Command, are you seeing this?" Martinez transmitted as his squadron executed maneuvers that defied known physics. "We're not just fighting them. We're rewriting the rules of space-time around us." Maya understood then what the architects had done. They hadn't just created a new species. They had engineered a bridge between universes, encoding the most advanced physics of their reality into human DNA. Each awakened human was becoming a living repository of knowledge and capabilities that had taken billions of years to develop in another universe. The Preserver's fear suddenly made perfect sense. Humanity wasn't just a threat to their control. They represented a fundamental change to how reality itself worked in this universe. Through the archive, Maya accessed more of the architect's knowledge. The void that had consumed their universe wasn't gone. It was moving through the multiverse, consuming reality after reality. The Preserver's rigid adherence to the physics of this universe would be useless against it. Only beings who could transcend those limitations, who could access and manipulate the laws of multiple realities, would have a chance of stopping it. "The void is coming," she announced to the command center. "The architects calculated we have less than a century before it reaches our galaxy. The Preservers think they're protecting universal order, but their actions doom us all." We need to evolve. We need to become what the architects designed us to be. As if in response to this revelation, the Preserver dreadnoughts launched a coordinated attack, not just on Earth's defenses, but on the quantum frequency that allowed humans to access their enhanced abilities. They would rather doom the galaxy than let humanity change the fundamental nature of reality in this universe. But they had waited too long. Millions of awakened human minds joined together, creating a quantum network that spanned the globe. Through their combined consciousness, they could see the structure of reality itself. And more importantly, they could see how to change it. We are not your enemy. Maya broadcast to the Preserver fleet. Her message carried on quantum frequencies they couldn't block. We are your only hope for survival. The void is coming, and your technology, your understanding of physics, will mean nothing when it arrives. Let us help you. Let us show you what the architects knew. That evolution isn't just necessary, it's essential. The Preserver's response was a barrage of weapons fire that lit up the solar system. They had made their choice. Now humanity would have to prove they were ready for the legacy the architects had left them, not just for Earth's sake, but for the survival of all reality. Breaking chains. Space fractured as the Preserver dreadnoughts unleashed their full arsenal. Reality warping weapons designed to enforce the laws of physics turned the void between Earth and Mars into a maelstrom of twisted spacetime. But humanity had evolved beyond the rules the Preservers sought to protect. Sierra Squadron led Earth's defense, their ships moving through impossible angles as their pilots accessed knowledge inherited from a dead universe. Captain Martinez felt his consciousness expand, connecting with his squadron through quantum links that transcended normal spacetime. They're trying to lock down local physics, he transmitted to Earth Defense Command. Make their laws of reality the only ones that work, but we can see the gaps between their restrictions. Through his enhanced perception, Martinez watched the Preserver ships attempting to create a cage of pure physics around Earth, a containment field that would suppress any laws of reality except the ones they recognized. It was elegant but fundamentally flawed. The architects had engineered humanity specifically to transcend such limitations. In the Quantum Observatory, Dr. Maya Chen coordinated humanity's collective consciousness. Millions of awakened minds joined together, forming a neural network that spanned the globe. Through their shared awareness, they could perceive the multiple layers of reality that the architects had known, and the weaknesses in the Preserver's understanding of the universe. Their entire civilization is built on control, Maya realized, watching the battle through both normal and enhanced senses. They don't just enforce the laws of physics, they refuse to acknowledge that those laws can evolve. That's why they'll never be able to stop the void. Admiral Rodriguez stood beside her, her own enhanced mind processing tactical data from 1,000 sources simultaneously. Then let's show them what evolution looks like. The order went out worldwide. Every awakened human focused their consciousness on a single purpose, not just resisting the Preserver's physics cage, but transforming it. They didn't fight against the imposed laws of reality. They transcended them, accessing physical principles that existed in the space between universes. The effect was stunning. The Preserver's containment field, designed to enforce the physics of this universe, instead became a lens through which humanity could access the physics of others. Each attempted restriction created new pathways to realities that operated on different principles. In orbit, Martinez and Sierra Squadron demonstrated the practical application of this knowledge. Their ships began moving in ways that made the Preserver's targeting systems useless, not by breaking the laws of physics, but by operating according to multiple sets of physical laws simultaneously. Sierra Squadron, execute Maneuver Omega, Martinez commanded. 12 Earth interceptors accelerated toward the nearest Preserver dreadnought, their paths bending through dimensions the Preservers couldn't even perceive. As they approached, Martinez felt his consciousness merge with his squadron mates, their combined awareness allowing them to coordinate at levels impossible for their enemies to predict. The interceptors struck not with conventional weapons, but with focused bursts of consciousness that transmitted the architect's understanding directly into the preserver ship's quantum systems. For a moment, the massive vessel's rigid adherence to this universe's physics wavered, creating cascading failures throughout its structure. Their technology can't handle exposure to multiple physical paradigms, Maya reported, analyzing the data. Their entire civilization is built on the assumption that the laws of physics are immutable. When those laws start changing, the preserver dreadnought's quantum fields collapsed, its hull becoming transparent as it phased partially into another reality. The ship didn't explode. It simply ceased to exist in any single universe, its matter and energy dispersed across multiple realities. But humanity's victory was far from assured. The remaining preserver ships adjusted their tactics, launching autonomous hunter-killers that targeted individual human minds, trying to disrupt the quantum network that allowed humanity to access their enhanced abilities. Maya felt the attack as a pressure against her consciousness, an attempt to force her perception back into the limited framework of this universe's physics. But the architects had planned for this. Within human DNA lay not just the knowledge of their universe's physics, but the understanding of how to evolve beyond any single set of physical laws. "They still don't understand," she broadcast to the defenders. "The architects didn't just give us knowledge. They gave us the ability to transcend knowledge itself." Every restriction the preservers try to impose becomes a pathway to new evolution. Around Earth, humanity's collective consciousness began generating quantum fields that operated on principles from dozens of different universes simultaneously. The preserver hunter-killers, designed to enforce a single set of physical laws, couldn't maintain coherence in an environment where multiple physical paradigms existed at once. Martinez watched through his enhanced senses as the autonomous weapons began to fail, their rigid programming unable to cope with a reality that refused to follow any single set of rules. "Command, the enemy's secondary weapons are withdrawing. Their main ships are regrouping near lunar orbit." The preservers launched a final, desperate attack, a weapon designed to freeze all quantum interactions within the solar system, locking reality into a single, unchangeable state. But as the wave of stasis energy approached Earth, humanity's collective consciousness transformed it into something else entirely. Instead of freezing quantum states, the energy became a catalyst for further evolution. The architect's legacy within human DNA fully awakened, allowing humanity to perceive and manipulate the fundamental forces that existed between universes themselves. Maya felt the change ripple through the global consciousness. They weren't just accessing the physics of the architect's universe anymore. They were learning to write new laws of physics, to shape reality in ways that even the architects hadn't imagined. This is what they feared, she realized, watching the preserver fleet retreat. Not that we'd destroy their civilization, but that we transform it, show them that the very nature of reality is more fluid than they ever allowed themselves to believe. The battle for Earth had been won, but Maya knew this was only the beginning. The void that had consumed the architect's universe was still coming. Humanity would need to continue evolving, continue transforming, if they hoped to save not just this universe, but all of reality itself. The preservers had tried to maintain the boundaries between universes, to enforce rigid laws that they believed would protect existence itself. But in doing so, they had nearly doomed everything. Only by transcending those boundaries, by learning to exist in the spaces between realities, could life hope to survive what was coming. As the preserver fleet retreated to the outer solar system, humanity began preparing for an even greater challenge. They had broken free of the chains that would have bound them to a single universe's physics. Now they had to learn to use that freedom to save all of existence itself. Evolution's dawn. The aftermath of the battle left Earth's orbit swimming with quantum echoes, ripples in reality caused by humanity's first major demonstration of their evolved powers. Dr. Maya Chen stood in the transformed quantum observatory, her enhanced senses perceiving layers of existence that even the architects had only theorized about. 3 days after the preservers' retreat, they returned. not with weapons, but with an envoy. Their ship was different from the others, smaller, built not for war, but for communication. It carried the first preserver anyone on Earth had ever seen in physical form. The being that emerged from the quantum transport pad in Geneva's United Earth headquarters defied easy description. Its form shifted between states of matter, a living embodiment of the rigid physical laws the preservers had dedicated themselves to maintaining. "I am Observer Eternal." It communicated directly into the minds of the assembled human leadership. "We have come to understand." Maya stepped forward, humanity's chosen representative for this historic meeting. Through her enhanced perception, she could see the quantum structure of the observer's consciousness, complex, ancient, but bound by self-imposed limitations that now threatened all existence. "The void approaches," the observer continued. "We have reviewed the architect's data. Their predictions were accurate. Our methods cannot stop it." Admiral Rodriguez, standing beside Maya, projected her thoughts clearly. "Then help us prepare. Your knowledge of this universe's physics, combined with our ability to transcend those laws. Together, we might have a chance." The observer's form rippled, expressing what Maya recognized as deep uncertainty. "What you propose goes against everything we have worked to maintain for millions of years. Universal constants must remain constant. The laws of physics cannot be mutable." "But they are mutable," Maya responded, accessing the deeper knowledge the architects had encoded in human DNA. "Reality itself evolves. The void isn't just consuming universes, it's consuming possibilities. By trying to freeze physics into a single state, you've been making its job easier." Through their enhanced senses, every human in the room could perceive the truth of these words. The void wasn't just a force of destruction, it was stagnation given form. The ultimate expression of the preserver's philosophy taken to its logical extreme. Captain Martinez, now serving as Earth's defense coordinator, shared tactical data from the recent battle. "Our ships didn't just defeat yours. They showed you new ways that reality could operate. The architects didn't make us into weapons. They made us into teachers." The observer processed this, its quantum structure shifting as it absorbed the implications. Around Earth, humanity's collective consciousness continued to evolve, discovering new ways to perceive and interact with the fundamental structure of existence. Through the archive beneath the Mariana Trench, Maya accessed more of the architect's knowledge. They knew they couldn't survive to fight the void themselves, but they could create a species that would continuously evolve, that would never stop finding new ways to transcend limitations. That's what the preservers have been fighting. Not us, but the very concept of change itself. "Evolution is chaos," the observer stated, but with less certainty than before. "Evolution is survival," Maya corrected. "The void consumes static systems. Only something that can constantly change, that can operate according to multiple sets of physical laws simultaneously, has any hope of stopping it." She projected an image into the quantum field they all shared, a visualization of the void's approach through the multiverse. But now, enhanced by humanity's evolved perception, they could see something the architects hadn't. The void wasn't just consuming universes, it was consuming their potential for change. "Your civilization's greatest achievement was learning to preserve the laws of physics," Maya told the observer. "Ours will be learning how to transform them. We need both, your stability to give us a foundation, our evolution to build something new." The observer's form stabilized, taking on a more solid appearance. "You propose an alliance between those who maintain constants and those who transcend them." "We propose survival," Rodriguez answered, "for all reality." In orbit, the quantum echoes from the battle had begun forming new patterns. Humanity's collective consciousness had unknowingly started creating something unprecedented, regions of space where multiple sets of physical laws could coexist stably. The preserver's greatest fear had been reality's descent into chaos, but humanity was showing how controlled evolution could make reality itself more robust. Through the quantum network linking all awakened humans, Maya shared a vision of the future, not one of rigid preservation or unchecked change, but of guided evolution. The architects hadn't just given humanity the physics of their dead universe. They had given them the understanding of how universes could grow, adapt, and become stronger. The void is coming, she told the observer, but it's going to find something it's never encountered before. A reality that can fight back. A universe that can evolve. The observer's response came not in words but in actions. It extended its consciousness into the quantum field, allowing itself to experience reality as humanity now perceived it. For the first time in millions of years, a preserver chose to see beyond the boundaries of what they had always believed possible. We will need to prepare, it finally communicated. All of our worlds, all of our peoples, everything must change. Not change, Maya corrected, sharing the deeper wisdom that humanity was discovering. Evolve. Growth without loss, transformation without chaos. The architects showed us the way, but we're going to take it further than they ever imagined. As the observer departed to convey humanity's message to the preserver civilization, Maya turned her attention to the quantum display showing the void's approach. They had decades to prepare, to evolve, to transform not just humanity but reality itself. The architects had designed humanity to be a bridge between universes, but they had become something more. They had become the catalyst for existence itself to evolve. The preservers had feared this evolution would destroy everything they had worked to maintain. Instead, it would become their salvation. In the quantum observatory where it had all begun, Maya watched as humanity's consciousness continued to expand and evolve. They were no longer just the children of Earth, or even the heirs of the architects. They had become something new, the shepherds of reality's evolution, the force that would ensure existence itself could adapt and survive. The battle against the preservers had been won. The true test, the fight against the void, still lay ahead. But for the first time since the architects had seeded their legacy into human DNA, the future held more promise than peril. Evolution's dawn had arrived, and with it, hope for all reality.